Hello there. So it's been 6 weeks since my last video. I meant to post a video when I got my braces on, which was about a month ago, but I've been pretty busy doing exams and marking exams as well as sitting my own exams. So that's why there's been a bit of delay. When I originally set out to do these YouTube videos, I was hoping to do an update on the day that a big event would happen, just so I can keep you updated. But here we are, and I'm already behind. So let me first show you my braces because I've had braces now for a month. So here they are. You can see that I've got clear braces on the top and the bottom. So most people are saying that they can obviously still have braces, but it's not that obvious. It's not like I've got a lot of metal in my mouth, just a couple of wires. So I'll talk a little bit more about my braces, but first I just wanted to talk about what I was going to talk about a month ago when I first got my braces on. So the first thing that I wanted to just say is when I last spoke to you, I just had the expander glued into place. So my upper jaw had sort of been pulled apart, and then the expander is just in there to sort of act as a splint to hold my jaw in place. And I just wanted to say my teeth sort of were moving quite a bit at that point, so I could I wouldn't call it pain, but I could definitely feel sort of my teeth feeling loose, and so that was causing a sort of weird sensation as my teeth were sort of moving in my jawline. So I remember when I was a teenager and I had braces, the braces went on, and then I could sort of feel that pain of my teeth moving in my jaw. And this time when I got my braces on, it was like my teeth had already moved quite a bit for the 2 weeks after the expansion had occurred, but before my braces got put on. So I wasn't really feeling pain this time when the braces went on. My teeth had already kind of gone through that wriggling phase where they would sort of move a little bit. So I guess that's I guess that's something that you might be able to expect. If you got your braces on straight away before your jaw was sort of moved, then you would probably feel pain when the braces went on because your teeth are moving and adjusting to the braces. But for me, the braces more felt like they were just holding my teeth in place a bit more. They were moving a little bit less than they had been, trying to adjust to the new shape of my jaw. One thing that I was particularly concerned about back when I was going to do my video when the braces went on was I've got a tooth here. When you look at the expander, I don't have the photo prepared for you now, but if you look in previous videos, there's some photos. The expander is glued to these teeth here and also glued at the back. And this particular tooth where it's glued, it felt like the tooth was sort of clicking in my jaw, like I would be biting down and the tooth felt like it was sort of really having sudden jolts of movement in my jaw. So that was sort of worrying me. I sort of felt like the tooth was going to kind of get pulled out completely because it was so loose in that part, and the expander was sort of keeping it in a position that was forcing it to really click around. The surgeon and the orthodontist both said to me it's kind of normal as your teeth are adjusting to the sort of new placement that they might slip a little bit, and that might have that sensation of having it feeling like the tooth is sort of really coming loose in your jaw. So I'm happy to say that now, 6 weeks down the track, that is not really a concern for me anymore. The teeth seems to be fairly solidly in place and I'm not really getting that clicking sensation. So it really is, in my experience anyway, just part of that adjusting to the new spaces in the teeth. Another thing I was going to talk about a month ago when I was going to make a video is some headaches I was getting. So I was expecting maybe some weird sort of pain relating to the expansion of my jaw as it was sort of opening up. But nothing was really happening when the jaw was expanding, but what I found was as soon as the expander was glued into place and there was no more movement, that's when I started to get some sort of aches and pains. So it was only really for about the 2 weeks after my expander had been glued into place, up until I got the braces put on, But what it sort of felt like was my jaw had been expanded quite rapidly over a period of 12 days, and then when it had glued into place, the rest of my face around here was kind of catching up. So it was like my jaw had been moved, and then the rest was sort of creaking into place. So I was getting some kind of just, I guess, growing pains, for want of a better word, sort of right across here, and I was getting some sort of migraines. And that was really lasting for about 1 or 2 weeks. So I just have some painkillers. So that might just be something to look out for. It's not something that is a concern for me now anymore. Okay, so in terms of my braces, so I showed you before, I'll just show you again. So they're clear there. One thing that's quite obvious now when you're looking at my smile is just how far skewed my bottom jaw is. So you can see how it's really joining onto, it's really getting a lot of contact on this side and almost no contact on this side. So that was already a problem, but now it's far more pronounced now that my jaw is, my upper jaw is more proportional to my lower jaw. So you can see that this is my natural position now. And you can see just how far to this side my jaw is slanting. So part of the surgery in about a year is going to sort of correct that position. Another part is to sort of move the top jaw sort of forward because there's a bit of an underbite. Now I was expecting more of an underbite at this point, and when I saw the orthodontist earlier today, he said that it probably will get a little bit more pronounced as that gap closes up, but if it's not a big problem, then they might not even do that part of the surgery. So we'll see sort of how that goes. He says it's still very early days, so we'll find out what happens. The next thing to see is that the braces, I think this is quite different to when I was a teenager, but the braces are sort of holding the wire in place with just elastic bands. So those elastic bands I can sort of pull off myself if I want to. I shouldn't, and I don't really have any reason to, but it is possible. And I recall when I did this 20 years ago that the wire was sort of held in place a bit more firmly. So I'm not really sure why that is. Another thing that I was a little bit surprised about is just having the braces on, the gap already started to close. So when I last measured it, it was at 7 millimeters. Then it was down to 5 millimeters when just from having the braces on, or just from the time after, I guess, gluing the expander into place and sort of having my jaw settled down, add the braces, and it's lost 2 millimeters of width. And then I've had a couple of adjustments since I had my braces on, but they put a power chain on in the first adjustment, which is sort of like an elastic band that goes, that sort of joins up, so it sort of pulls the teeth together. So it's quite subtle, but I'll see if I can point it out. It's only going on these 4 front teeth here. There's just a link here, then one on here, one on here, one on here. So that's going to pull those teeth together, and I'll start to see some gaps. Sort of appearing back here, which will eventually be closed up, but for the time being, they're sort of focusing on just closing up that front gap. So since I got the power chain put in about 2 weeks ago, it's already lost another millimeter, and I noticed that he put a slightly stronger power chain on this morning at my adjustment. So hopefully that'll really start to close up before my next video. So we'll see how that goes. I have been getting some ulcers. Obviously when you first get your braces on, there is a bit of an adjustment because you've got this huge sort of rack of extra sort of metal and plastic on your teeth that your gums are sort of pushing against. So there is a bit of an adjustment period there where I'm getting ulcers. The main problems I've been having though are sort of ulcers under my tongue, because I'm trying to clean my teeth like I normally would with my tongue when I eat, and so the bottom of my tongue is sort of scratching up against the braces, and that can be quite painful. But this is one thing that I found quite useful. There's some sort of gel there that you can put some relief on. So that's pretty much it for now for this update. Next time you see me, in about 6 weeks' time, I'm going to have the expander removed, so I'll be able to sort of talk a bit more normally. As I was saying in the past, it's really only affecting my speech a little bit now, and it's also affecting how I eat. But just to sort of, for fun, I thought I might just go through the alphabet and then you can sort of hear directly how it's affecting my speech, and then I might try the same thing at the beginning of my next video and you can sort of compare. So this is just the alphabet, just before I go, so you can hear how I'm talking. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So it's mostly those E noises that are quite hard to make. Anyway, so that's it from me for now. I'll see you next time. Hope you're finding this informative. Thanks for watching.